found TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. In just a few minutes, we'll be right with you with another award-winning, action-packed edition of your Tony Basilio Show. You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio Show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
WJBE 1040 AM, 99.7 FM.
Translator W259AB.
Powell, Knoxville.
Oh, let's go. Tony Basilio welcoming you to another edition. I got my man Sean Sinclair with me today. Well, it's a Wednesday with the great Watson Brown, who will be by here in a mere matter of moments. It's going to be unbelievable, Andy. Breaking it down scientifically with him. Looking unbelievably forward to that. We've got a lot to get to and very, very little time to get there. Cinco, hope you're well. Are you fired up, focused, and prepared for today? And are you going to be up to the task on this glorious July day, Cinco? How do you respond to any of that? Because I am pumped today. We got a lot to talk about today. The great, and I do mean the great, Watson Brown's going to be with us. And looking forward to breaking it down scientifically with him. It's going to be a lot of fun. He'll be by here in a little bit. We've got a lot to get into. Tennessee gets a commitment from a very good linebacker prospect yesterday, as the hits just keep right on going. And the kits just keep right on rolling. And Cinco, your thought on that commitment from yesterday? Is Cinco there, Bri? Did you unmute him, Bri? Did you unmute me to him, Bri?
I'm here. I can hear you.
Hey, buddy. What'd you think of that commitment yesterday?
It was a nice commitment. As Austin Price pointed out, it was one of those old school ones where I don't know the details, but it looks like, and these are not my original thoughts. These are came from people in the business. Said it looked like relationships kind of won out. We'd been recruiting him for a long time. Good kid. He's from, I think his family's into coaching. He's from Kell High School, which is a very good school. Very good students down there. You may remember Brian Randolph played here at safety for several years back, about 8-10 years ago. He's got a teammate, I think who transferred in from Harrison, but who's going to commit today. Combe, if that's the way you pronounce it, safety, and Tennessee looks to be in good shape there. So it's a good one. But more importantly, T.J. White is a very similar linebacker of stature. In fact, he's ranked higher out of Jackson Prep in Mississippi. But for whatever reason, this Rouse kid, his commitment seems to ring a little louder. I don't know if it's because Alabama, somewhat Texas, were in there fighting, and Tennessee comes out on top. So it feels a little bit different than it did on the White commitment, even though they're very similar, or like I said, or even White's a little higher rated. So it's a good pickup. Tennessee seems to be on a roll right now.
Cinco, that's always been my read on recruiting, is that I always look at the list, and maybe that's a shallow thing. But, look, when I see Maryland and these days Virginia Tech with somebody, I don't get as excited as I do when I see Texas and Alabama are interested in a kid. So maybe I'm shallow. Maybe that's what people are going for, Sean, with that. And maybe that makes us all kind of shallow. But I look at those recruiting lists and I say, okay, who are you involved with? And how, and then we take it from there. But that's sort of where I'm at on that. So Tennessee has had a pretty good past couple of weeks, Sean, have they not? They've had a pretty good past couple of weeks here. They're in the midst of a pretty good run, yes? The Vols are in the midst of a pretty good run. Yes, guys? Somebody? Anybody?
Sean is muted. Sean.
No, I'm back.
Okay.
I couldn't hear you guys for a long time. Yeah, they're on for a good. I don't know how much you heard before what I was talking about, but
yeah,
they're on a good little string here. Yep.
And it's good. Keep the positive momentum going. For whatever reason, this recruiting game works in terms of your momentum that you have and the momentum that you carry in, and hopefully that that will continue as it's a Wednesday with Watson Brown. We have a lot to get into today. Very little time to get there. Lot to discuss today on this Glory Day. We're going to come back on the other side. We will bring a special guest in. Watson Brown going to join us as well, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. It's all ahead on a Wednesday as we continue with more after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
Summer is officially here, and the last thing you want during sweltering heat is a broken air conditioner or HVAC system. That means it's more important than ever to keep you and your family comfortable and safe when extreme Tennessee temperatures arrive. Don't ignore the warning signs that your AC is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need emergency HVAC repairs, routine preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month, get up to a $1,000 discount when you buy and install a new air conditioner or HVAC system. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Jeff Hall here. I'm a partner at Rather & Kittrell Capital Management. And here at Rather & Kittrell, we understand that life is full of transitions. Since 2000, our team of dedicated certified financial planners has been helping individuals, families, and businesses navigate these changes with confidence. From comprehensive wealth management to tailored retirement plans, we're committed to guiding you toward a secure financial future. Ready to take the next step? Visit rkcapital.com or call us at 865-218-8400 to start your journey today. Rather & Kittrell is a registered investment advisor.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit tldlogistics.com. That's tldlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
A lime is not always just a lime. You see, some limes are lucky. For when a lime joins the salted rim of a crisp, refreshing Tres Dos Equis, that lime is no longer a mere lime, but a wedge of renowned Mexican limón. Muchas gracias, limón. And also, de nada. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama's Easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. Tony B back with you, fired up, focused, and prepared. Boy, that Calhoun spot makes me extremely hungry. I'm fired up, focused, and prepared with you. Joining us first, before we get to my main man on the wheels to steal, of course, I'm talking about the great Watson Brown. Let's bring him in now. My Smokies are back home this week. Hey, Eris, you guys went crazy with the fireworks last week. So we went to the downtown fireworks, and then y'all's display, how you coordinated it with the city. I mean, that was some big city feel last week, Eris, what y'all were doing there.
Yeah, dude. So we had to coordinate with them. We knew that the city was going to have at World's Fair Park their show from 9:46 to 9:56. So we had to time it out perfectly where we get the things going at 9:57. So it was pretty exciting, and the crowd loved it too, because in essence they got 2 fireworks shows for the price of 1.
I know, and people that were there at the stadium told me they could see the fireworks perfectly from that were shot from the World's Fair Stadium and World's Fair Park, and then they saw your fireworks. And Eris, the fun just continues, man. We're back home this week. Tell me about it, my brother, beginning on this Wednesday. And by the way, what about our guy VJ Edgecombe, who brought it to the table and then some in his first Summer League game? It's all Cinco can talk about is VJ Edgecombe from Baylor.
This dude is going to be the next Ant-Man, dude. That's what I'm hoping. Hope this guy just takes over the league. And my God, do the Sixers need somebody to actually score.
Does Brian Hartman understand what's getting ready to happen to him in the NBA East? Because Edgecombe is going to be the guy they're going to be talking about. They'll be doing a 30 for 30 for him like they do on Michael Jordan. All the teams that passed on him.
Little Dylan Harper isn't going to be the guy that they thought he was going to be. Tell you what.
Dylan Harper, he's a punk and a clown. Not to mention that Ace Bailey guy. All right,
he went to no man's land. You know that. You're the king of talking about how half these teams in the league never have a chance to win anything. He's gone to Utah. He's
the truth.
So.
Yes, yeah. Eris He's speaking the freaking truth today. All right, let's talk about it. And by the way, the Smokies have run so much talent through this deal. How about the Cubs and the season they're having right now and all the kids that you guys saw there just a few years ago? My boy Pete Crow Armstrong is a freaking stud.
Yeah, it's crazy how many of the big guys on the Cubs right now have come through the Smokies, through our backyard here. And just a couple of names to keep your ear open for. We have the Futures game coming up. Has the biggest and brightest players in the minors that you're going to probably see in the majors very soon. But Owen Casey, 2 years on the Smokies. He's a Cubs top prospect. He'll be playing in that game. And then Jackson Wiggins. He's a current Smoky, and he's the 8th prospect in the Cubs organization. Huge, tall guy, starting pitcher. This guy can throw heat. 2 names to take a look out there for them and watch the game.
It's unbelievable. All right, let's get to it, my brother.
Yeah, dude. So today, it's Wednesday, so it's all-you-can-eat Wednesday. Come hungry to the ballpark. It's going to be a beautiful day at Covenant Health Park. You haven't been out to the game? Well, perfect opportunity for you to do it today, and all-you-can-eat is the way to do it. So if you're listening to this, don't eat anything. Just come to the baseball game and have an absolute blast. And then, if you're busy today, you got to come tomorrow for Thirsty Thursday. I know that's something that you and I definitely partake in.
Well, Bino's going to be in the house. Bino's going to be in the house tonight. Yeah, Bino's going to be in the house. So maybe you ought to put on the thing that Bino's in the house tonight.
I'm going to put it on the group threes right now. What do you want specifically said?
Bino Donnie. I was going to say Donnie Softball Society. I don't know. Let me think about that, and I'll text you back. I'm going to ask the living listener what we should put up on the scoreboard tonight to zing Bino. Maybe I'll let Cinco think about that. We'll think about how we're going to zing Bino. That's a good little side topic. So Bino's going to the Smokies game tonight. He's making an appearance. What should Eris put up there? Because Eris, you put something about my fan club. My fan club at the game I was at a couple of weeks ago, and somebody pointed to me and said, "Look," and I said, "That damn clown, he got me." All right, so tonight you got all you can eat Wednesday. Talk to me about Thursday, my brother.
Thursday, as in every Thursday, it is half-price draft beer on Thursday.
Go.
So it's not just your domestics. You can get your IPAs if you're into that, your porters, whatever it may be. Every draft beer is half price at every Smokies Thursday game. So pretty exciting stuff, dude.
I mean, what are we doing? And what are people waiting on, right? What are people waiting on? Get out there tomorrow. All right, tell me about Friday, my brother.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, but one of the, unofficial official holidays that take place in this beautiful country of the United States of America is Shark Week. And we have partnered up with the Discovery Channel, and we're having a Shark Week themed game coming this Friday. So Pretty exciting stuff there.
So are you a big shark guy? Because I know some people are, some people aren't. Some people are afraid to go in the water. Some people love the sharks. I was a kid when Jaws came out. Jaws was sort of all the rage.
I'm not like the biggest fan of sharks, but I am a man of the people, and I know the people love them. But if you were to ask me if I'm scared to get in the water, of course not. I'm going in there, shark or no shark. So I'm the shark in the water. So
did you
people
grow
have
up?
to look out for me.
Were you a Jersey Shore kid growing up? Well, you were right near the Jersey Shore, right? Growing up.
Oh, I was born 3 blocks from the beach, so I used to walk to the beach all the time.
Let's go, brother. Did you ever see anything there back in the day? Did you ever have to get out of the water?
No, there were never any sharks. There were jellyfish sometimes.
Oh, God, the jellyfish
get stung by
there.
Jellyfish.
Oh, my gosh. The jellyfish there in the Jersey beaches are bad. They're really bad. Do they like warm water, or cold water, the jellyfish? I forget.
I don't remember either, but I remember that these jellyfish are literally right up to, like, the line right up to the sand. It's crazy. And I was a little kid back then, so I didn't even know any better. I don't know what this thing is. And then all of a sudden, my leg is doubled in size. So not the best experience there.
All you can eat, all you can drink, Shark Night. Now we're on Saturday with my Montgomery biscuits in town.
Yeah, dude. So it is Marvel Superhero Night.
Let's
go. A fan favorite, of course. Our players are going to be rocking Black Panther-themed jerseys. Pretty exciting times there. You can bid on those starting tomorrow, actually, at SmokiesBaseball.com. And all your favorite superheroes are going to be here tomorrow. I don't know what you're waiting for. Come on out. Get an autograph. Get a photo with Iron Man, with Captain America.
Let's
go. The whole crew's going to be here. We're going to have 8 superheroes here.
Will Mr. Fantastic be in the house?
I don't know. Are you coming to the game?
How about the Iceman? Will the Iceman be in the house?
He very well could be, my friend. He very well could be. There's 8 superheroes coming this Saturday at Covenant Health Park.
How about Hulk?
Oh, well, that's me, because I've been really working out.
Wow!
I just got to paint myself green.
Eris, you just got married. The opposite's supposed to happen once you get married. That's the cycle of the deal, man. You get married and you let yourself go. What do you mean you're working out? What about Wolverine? In honor of Jerry Colquitt, will Wolverine be there?
Of course, yes. Wolverine will be making an appearance on Saturday.
How about Brian Hartman just texted me. He's wondering about the Cyclops. Is the Cyclops going to be there?
I don't have him on the guest list, but that doesn't mean that he wouldn't be.
How about the
Nightcrawler? I also don't have him on the list, but you never know.
Are you surprised that I know my superheroes?
Dude, you're rolling. I mean, you're an intelligent guy. There's a lot going on in that cranium of yours.
It is a cranium, and it's bare for the world to see. In fact, if it got any more, if I lost any more hair, you'd be able to read my mind just by looking at the side of my head. But that's another story for another day. As my man Eris with my Smokies is joining, and so Saturday we've got the Marvel Night, and that's cool. So you'll have the 8 characters walking around the ballpark. Is that where we are?
Yeah, dude. They'll be out and about, walking around. They're going to be part of some of our on-field games and whatnot. And, of course, after the game, we're going to have a super fireworks show. Friday and Saturday, we got fireworks. Every Friday and Saturday game here this season with the Smokies, there's a fireworks show at the conclusion of the game. Perfect way to cap off a great night.
Well, you have fired me up. You focused me and prepared me. And then I guess Sunday is our final day of the homestand.
Sunday.
Race fans.
It's actually a 1 o'clock start. 1 o'clock start on Sunday. A little earlier action. Why wait? Let's get to the baseball, right? And Sunday is going to be our Pete the Cat night. Pete the Cat, very popular children's book character. He's going to be here to meet and greet with our youngest fans and our young fans at heart as well. So we got something going on every single day here at the ballpark, dude.
Well, and let's not forget, Bino Jeff Henderson makes an appearance tonight, and we've got to figure out what to put on that marquee. Could you put, representing the Stooge Society, something? Well, we got to think about it. I got to think about how we're going to zing Brother Bino. Maybe, well, I don't know. I was thinking New York Mets fan, Mets fan club, but we can't do that because that's a fellow National League franchise. Eris, you are my man. If folks want more information, how do they do so? And on a scale of 1 to 10, grade this appearance on here today.
Hey, dude. Visit us online at SmokiesBaseball.com or on any of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at Smokies Baseball. Today's been a 10 out of 10, but it always is with you, my friend.
Eris, you're the man. I love you.
Love you, man. Talk to you later.
Appreciate you. Cinco and Bry, any ideas on how we're going to zing what we can put on the marquee tonight? Because Bino's going to be in the house tonight.
The Boston Red Sox fan club, the president of.
Oh, that's not bad because they're American League. That's not bad,
Too
Bry.
obvious.
That's not bad.
You can go with WNBA zone.
The WNBA. Oh, man, that's... All right, 865-200-5402 if you want to zing Bino. Go ahead and jingle up Watson Brown, who's presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. Watson's got me pump. Lulu, what are you doing, girl? Dog's looking at me. I'm in the upstairs today. Brian's in the downstairs. You can go check me out over on our socials to see more. If you want to see the video, go over to the Twitter video. You can see me hanging out in the living room. What you doing, Lou? What you doing, girl? Lulu, when I say Simpsons Meats, she got right up. But my man Watson Brown's getting ready to join us. We got a lot to get into today. As we were talking with Sean, X is going to join, by the way, tomorrow. And we're going to get into several of these guys that Tennessee's been able to land. And the odd thing, I don't know if it's odd, I don't know. These things never, ever, but Eris told me that if somebody in the audience wants to go ahead and mock up a photo of Bino, they'll put it on the screen tonight. So if somebody could find a photo of Bino, maybe do something of him in a Red Sox jersey. Brian, that's a great idea. Or maybe like the WNBA jersey of his choice. I don't know. Let's think about it. Without further ado, let me bring the great Watson Brown in here. Watson, conventional wisdom just doesn't, in sports, I don't know. It just doesn't work. I would have thought when Josh Heupel got this job with that offense they have, that they would have had trouble attracting top-flight offensive players, or defensive players, rather, and they would have gotten the pick of the litter with offensive players. And it has been, I don't want to say almost the opposite, but they have been getting very, very, very good defensive players. They got a kid yesterday from a kid out of Georgia, a linebacker, that Texas and Alabama both wanted, Watson. Isn't it in conventional wisdom in sports weird how it doesn't always hold?
Well, I mean, when you're in one of the top programs, Tony, I mean, it's going to come and go. I think the thing with Tony's with Josh's offense is it's not pass happy. It's the way I was always thought of. Everybody thought I was a pass happy guy. I was always a 50-50 guy.
Mm-hmm.
We ran the ball as much as we threw it, and Josh is for some reason thought of the same way. And yet you look at the stats year in and year out. That's not the case. They're going to run the football. And now these defenses, I think, are making them run the ball more. The Hendon Hooker year has made everybody, they let them throw a lot more that year. And since that season, people have backed off of them and played them in a lot more gain 3, gain 4 type thing. You can keep the ball if you want. We ain't giving you those quick scores like you've been getting. And so the defenses are deeper and backing off. They're showing run the ball, and then they'll come up fast to the run. So he's going to have to adjust to that. But I think the reason he hasn't just jumped all over the receivers like a Mike Leach or one of those kind of guys is because that's not what he does. He is really a 50-50 guy, and if you say run it, he's more than willing to run it. He doesn't force the pass till it's 3rd and long, and that's not a great time to force the pass for anybody. So that's what I think it is. I think when these receivers see, they say, man, they run the ball as much as they throw, if not run it more.
Watson Brown presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats, online at simpsonsmeats.com. More on them in a second. Sean, we were talking in our pre-production that Tennessee continues to land these what I call players of consequence on defense. And what about what Watson says there in terms of Tennessee's not go, go, go? And if they were go, 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 maybe you'd have a tougher time if guys were always on the field. He does bring up a good point there, Sean. Are you surprised by it, Cinco, this turn of events here with recruiting?
No, they had a couple of stocked weekends of getting kids in, and kids are taking their June visits and then processing all the information and then making their decisions. If you take a look at who Tennessee has committed, it seems to be kind of pretty much by the metrics. They look like they're going to focus their money on a quarterback. They're going to focus, their money on transfers, and then they're going to bring in some guys that just kind of fit their physical makeup. The DBs all look to be about 6 feet tall, 175, can run, have long arms. They're in on, they got a couple of offensive tackles. They likely to get another one today, Shabazz, that are both, long arms, can move. And then it looks like, in defensive line, they're bringing in guys that Rodney Garner thinks in 3 to 4 years, if they stay here, could develop into solid players. I think it's interesting because I'm having a hard time watching, big time, Ohio State's and these guys just totally outspend us. And we only have 1 year of really looking at that with Ohio State. You just have to wonder when does that cap off? But no, Tennessee's on a nice little run. It should continue the rest of the week.
Watson, I read a piece today in the Athletic regarding the expenditures at a place like Texas Tech, and you and I have talked about the Texas schools, but Texas Tech's spending in everything, and they want to be a player, and they're in a league that's kind of wide open, so you can do that, with Texas and Oklahoma walking out the door. But they were saying in there that Texas Tech has spent a ton on this current class that's in there, in this current football team. And then they're also putting together some future deals, like allegedly in this upcoming class, they've offered close to $2 million for an offensive lineman on a 1 year type deal, like close to $2 million a year is what the thought is. And the story goes on to say, and I think it's Stuart Mandel wrote the story, but the story goes on to say that basically what Texas Tech is telling you is either we don't care about the Deloitte thing, we don't think it's going to be there in a year, or we're going to allocate that much of our budget toward one player. Obviously, these guys are not, Watson, going to stop spending, are they? I mean, the thought that Ohio State's going to go from like a $35 to $40 million payroll down to $15 million next year just does not wash with me, Watson. Does it wash with you?
Well, I coached at Texas Tech, so I've been saying all along, I coached quarterbacks there with Rex Dockery back in, I don't even remember the year now, but I think it would have been 77, 78, right in there. And you couldn't come close to getting guys from Texas or A&M. You couldn't do it. Now you can, and there's a reason for that. It's called cash, and now they can get that guy. So it's like I've been telling. I said it to y'all all the time. I said to Sean last week. What's on the side of that helmet does not mean as much. It still means something, but it doesn't mean as much because with a TT on the side and a Longhorn on the side now, the guy will listen to TT for one reason and one reason alone. And that's the way I look at it. And so that makes the big difference to me. That's why the lower level, the mid-level guy can now, in 1 year's time, I don't know if you can sustain it with that kind of money. Now, that's what I'm going to watch. I'm seeing these guys throw money into NIL, and now they're going to have to decide with each university how much you spend. But these NIL guys is going to be interesting to watch. It's new. They can pat their chest a little bit. if you understand what I mean by that. And
oh yeah,
and how long is that going to last? Is what I want to know. How long is that going to last? But right now, you're spending it. I'm seeing universities spend more than I've ever spent. They're up there with the big boys, and maybe past the big boys. And it's going to be real interesting. I saw it work for Indiana, but we're going to see if it works for Texas Tech now. But that's what I think the difference is. It's pure money, and it's how you want to spend your money. And if you need a left tackle bad enough, why not? I can understand that. Instead of just generically saying, okay, we're going to spend this on guards, this on tackles, this on receivers, this on a tight end. It's what you need that year is the way I'd go about it. Because to me, guys, it's year to year now. You're not building a program anymore. You're fixing this class this year, what we're going to need this year. Because if you don't pay him that the next year, he's gone, or somebody pays him more, he's going to leave you anyway. So that's what I think's going on.
Which is a really interesting way to think about the way Tennessee's going about building their team right now. To Sean's point, they're going after types. And if you stack enough of a type, I mean, who knows whether or not this kid they just got is going to be able to play. He may not. There's a lot of four-star guys that can. There are a bunch that can't. When you have an offer list that includes Texas and Alabama, chances are this guy's a pretty good football player. Sean, you and I were talking before we started that it's an interesting thing to consider that perhaps here, what you're going to see going forward is you have a core group of players, and then you're constantly augmenting around that core. You have a quarterback. Elaborate on that, Sean, what you and I were talking about in the pre-production meeting.
Well, I think football is always going to be a quarterback game. You can win with a serviceable quarterback. Alabama did that quite a bit, but in those years, unfortunately, they just hit you with they hit you with a tide of talent everywhere. Not to be silly there, but they just had overwhelming talent. Georgia did the same with Stetson Bennett and some of the guys that have not been 5 stars. But for the most part, you look at the NFL, you look at college football. If you have a very, very good quarterback, that's gonna provide success. Now, the Nico years, I think it's the outlier, because usually those 5-star quarterbacks come through for the most part. Yep. Maybe not the NFL, but they come through as players. That's not a year that it did, but it's a safe bet if you get on the quarterback, bring him in for big money. That also helps you with offensive players. Usually, wide receivers want to play with a great quarterback. Running backs want to play with a great quarterback. Offensive linemen want to play with a great quarterback. And then the other guys are just development guys. Because if you take a look at it, and I hate to be like this, but, even before NIL, 60% of your recruiting class was never going to make it to the third year. That's just the way things go. The attrition in signing classes has been around for 30 to 40 years.
Yes.
And even more so now, if a kid can't put on weight or whatever by the second year, he's not showing the door, but he's moving on. So it's interesting to see this. I'd love to be an Ohio State fan and just go out and buy everybody. But that didn't always work for the Yankees, and it doesn't always work for the Dodgers. And at some point that catches up to you. It's as long as you have a 16-team play 16-team playoff, just getting in the playoff, and you only have to win 3 or 4 games. You don't have to beat every team in there. You can get on a hot streak like our national championship balls. I don't know if they were the best team in the country, but they were the best team every time they lined up. And that's the hope, I guess. Texas Tech, long-winded here, sorry. Texas Tech, I think they're just trying to do a Nico thing. You can't sell a freshman offensive tackle is going to be a commercial success. But I think they found a kid that would probably take them, and they're going to advertise it. And we did that too several years ago.
Yeah, and look, and that is a talk throughout the recruiting game is what Texas Tech has done, and they're spending way above ordinarily what you would see, but maybe you can justify it. I don't think Texas Tech is even looking at it as justifying it. I don't know that anybody believes, because I'm still with Watson. If you're listening to me and you really believe that these collectives are going to get in line and behave themselves, they're not. They're just not. And why would you? You know, at the end of the day, why would I? If I was a collective, why would I behave myself? I'm going to go out and serve the boosters that have empowered me, and we're going to go out and get football players. Watson, interesting. I'm going to run something by you here. So we had Phil Steele on the program yesterday, and it's a Wednesday with Watson Brown, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats, a beef brand built on quality. You will taste the difference when you go to Simpson's Meats. You will absolutely taste the difference, ladies and germs, and you will savor the flavor at Simpson's Meats. Now, my friends at Simpson's Meats, Jim Simpson, they're beginning and continuing a tradition that began in 1888. Basically, what you're getting at Simpson's Meats is you're getting real steak that is raised on purpose. You're getting something that you know is real, something that you know has not been shot up with a bunch of hormones. You will taste the absolute difference. It is the best. And so when you're ready to treat yourself or treat somebody you know, whether it's steaks, burgers, sausages, roast chicken, they got tremendous local offerings at their butcher shop, from milk, honey, jam, eggs, so much more. Taste the best from the Tennessee community. They also sell half or quarter cows, if that's a route you want to go. But remember, steaks make great gifts, and gift boxes are available. They can ship their premium meat anywhere in the world. SimpsonsMeats.com. You can check out their store in West Knoxville off Level Road and shop today as Watson Brown joins us. Watson, Phil Steele came on with us yesterday. And I'm thinking about what it could have been like had Nico have stayed here. Because here's the revelation for you. Tennessee, which I think is kind of interesting, is only an underdog in 3 football games this year. And we were talking with Watson about, or with Phil about this yesterday. What would this have looked like if, in fact, Nico would have stayed? And he said, Tony, I think Tennessee was going to be preseason in the AP poll. He said, when I originally put my thing together, he said, my best guess was they were going to start at number 10 in America. Watson, as it is, they're only an underdog by him. He gave us spreads on every game. In 3 football games, with Oklahoma being a pick'em. It's really a shame for Heupel, and it's really a shame for Nico that they never got a chance to see it through. It's kind of that surprise. It surprises me when I stop and think about against their schedule. For instance, they're a 14-point favorite against Syracuse. The Vols are.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas must think there's some talent on that team. Either that or they're playing teams that have no talent.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, through all the years, I've been going against Tennessee forever as a player and a coach. And so I've had to study Tennessee for years and years and years, and at different schools that I've been at. And that's about right. They were probably underdog in about 3 games. I remember going to Oklahoma, and I was scared to death about TCU. Barry Switzer's at practice. He says, you seem mighty his first game of the year. And first game I had been at Oklahoma, and he says, you seem nervous. I said, yeah, I'm a little nervous about this because we haven't played anybody yet. And he said, you better be nervous about 3 games because you'll be better than the rest of them. Wow. In most ways, at those kind of places, he's right, and so that does not surprise me at all. It's they'd be ranked higher, but who knows if Nico comes on or not? Honestly, it's about time to move on and see. But I think they're going to be fine. They might even be better. I don't know that they'll be better real early, than they would have been if they still had Nico. But I think in the long run they may be better. It's going to be interesting to see if the mindset of this young man is what everybody tells me, and his competitiveness and his confidence and his strong leadership abilities that everybody says he has. That may end up being a major plus, even more so than what they had in front before with Nico. So I'm really excited about watching this year. I think Tennessee's got a chance to be really good, and they're getting to lay in the bushes a little bit, and that's a good thing to me.
Hey, Cinco, does that surprise you that by Vegas only an underdog in 3 games? I mean, yeah, and Watson's got a good point. You go back to our days on campus, that probably is the way it's been throughout time. 3 games, maybe 4 that you're a dog in, even in a lean year. And then when you're really good, like Georgia this year, they're favored against everybody, Phil Steele said. He ran the numbers on Georgia, too. He said they're favored. Just to tell you the disparity, because it's not as tremendous as you would think. Tennessee and Georgia this year in Neyland Stadium separated by 6 points, whereas Texas at Georgia favored by 3 points. So it's not as big a disparity as maybe I would have thought. Sean, does that surprise you? As Watson Brown joins today on the one, the only, it is your Tony Basilio show.
Tony, I'll say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're trying to find Sean. You lose those 3 games that you're not favored in, and the fans aren't happy. So I mean, it's an amazing deal how it works, and the good SEC teams never ever play more than 4 games away from home. And so they're going to have 8 most of the time at their house. And if they're not at their house, they're playing in Nashville, or they're playing in Birmingham, or they're playing somewhere where it's somewhere Orlando, if it's Florida or something like that. It's right down the road, and it's like a home game. I remember we had a home game at Mississippi State that was in Orlando. They ended up saying, "Well, we'll play it at a neutral site, and we'll give you this amount of money." Neutral, my foot. When we went to that game, I mean, it was just like playing in the swamp. I mean, they were everywhere. So, but being underdog in 3 or 4, if you lose all those, then it's not going to be a good season, because the base expects more than that, and they should. The traditional teams that have been good for years and years, and there's been lulls. Alabama had a lull.
Sure, everybody has lulls. Yeah,
Tennessee had a lull. I mean, you have that some. Florida's in it right now.
Yeah,
you have that some. It don't just stay there. Southern Cal, they're in a lull. They haven't come back just yet. And so it happens. But that type of school, the expectations are always there. I don't care if you went 4 and 8 the year before. The expectations the next year are the same. And that's why you love a place like Tennessee, because you want that. That's exactly how you want your fans to feel.
Are you surprised, Sean? Only dogs in 3?
Not really. I tell you what, I somewhat am surprised that we're that even at Florida, it's not more of a pick'em game, given Florida's tough early schedule throughout the whole year.
Yep.
That's the only thing that really surprised me. And I'm not suggesting Tennessee is better than Florida. Who knows? But given their quarterback with the injury, given the fact that Billy Napier, though he righted the ship somewhat, still is kind of on shaky ground, and you've got a monster schedule coming up. That's the part that surprises me a bit.
Florida, By the way, Watson, -6 is the number next to that one. The Oklahoma game is a straight pick. Here's what's interesting about, and I think those are the two swing games on Tennessee's schedule. They never win at Florida, so I'm putting that down as a loss. If you can split the difference there, you can have a pretty nice year to a very good year, depending on how that goes. But just to show you the depth of this league, Oklahoma in the preceding 3 games before they come to Knoxville in early November, which should be just a classic scene. I mean, Oklahoma in Knoxville in early November is what the modern day Southeastern Conference really, at the end of the day, is about. It's like a flex game because really, if you look at this year, those are probably 2 teams that are thought to be middle of the mid-card teams, but that will project on television and to the world. It should, as a heavyweight fight. I mean, 2 great traditions. That game, as we've seen it in recent years when it's been on the field, those teams look aesthetically appealing. Here is what Oklahoma has. They're in Dallas versus Texas. Then they go, Watson, to a very pesky, potentially pretty good South Carolina team. That's on the road. Then they come back home, and they host Ole Miss in Norman, which will not be easy. And Watson, they've got this Mateer guy, transfer from Washington State. It's the second time in a row now, and I don't think it's the last, that a head coach has gone out and not only gotten a quarterback, but has gotten, second year in a row, Vanderbilt did it last year, a quarterback and an offensive coordinator, Watson. Both come in, and it's going to be interesting to see if it works again, because it certainly worked at Vanderbilt last year. You got to give Clark Lee a lot of credit for that. A lot of coaches would never do that. They would never bring a coordinator in along with a quarterback, but obviously they did that, and they got this Mateer guy. And I wonder how much of him will still be left, Watson, by the time he gets to Tennessee coming through that stretch, because this is a kid that loves to compete and play every down, and I don't know if you can do that in this league and stay upright.
It depends on how much he has to, how many times he gets tackled, how many times he gets hit. This offense they were running that I've seen some is a quick throw kind of stuff. So that's what they'll bring to Oklahoma. It was not hold the ball, throw it deep a bunch. It was a lot of quick throws. So he may stay up more than you think. That's why Mike Leach's guys always stayed so healthy. Because the ball wasn't in his hands. Probably it didn't even average 2.5, which is what it's supposed to be off in a normal time. And so I think that's going to be part of it. How many times these quarterbacks have to carry the ball, like a Pavia? I mean, he had a good year. He might have had a great year, but he stayed hurt about half of the last half of the season. And he didn't look like himself again to me till the bowl game when he'd had 3 or 4 weeks off, and he looked like he did early in the year. So you run the ball as a quarterback in the SEC, or you're holding it in the pocket in the SEC. You're gonna hurt. You are flat gonna get hit. So I think that's part of it with Oklahoma. The other thing, I was there 2 years, and that Oklahoma-Texas game is so important. You live and die off of 2 games at Oklahoma, and one of them's gone, and the other one was Nebraska. And you just didn't lose to Oklahoma State. It's a little bit like Tennessee playing Vanderbilt. You just don't lose that game, period. But the Texas-Oklahoma game is the game of the year, and it is so hard that next week. It's always fun to play one of those 2 if you're close to as good as them, right after that game. We had to play Colorado both years, and I'm telling you, it was like pulling teeth. It just means so much to the fans, and you try to tell the kids, blah, blah, blah. When it means that much to the fans, it means that much to the kids. Every OU kid was recruited by Texas. Every Texas kid was recruited by OU, and that's just what it is. So watch that. Another thing with Oklahoma to me, and Texas handled it pretty good, but there were some close games stuck in there, is they're just not used to playing week in and week out that strong a talent through the history. They've always had a big one, and then you get a little time off for a week or 2, and then you come back and here's another big one. And now that's just not the case. And Oklahoma didn't handle it well at all last year.
Great Watson Brown joining. And then the other swing game for Tennessee is Florida. W. Lynn pointed this out yesterday, one of our callers. Florida, between the Mississippi State game and when Tennessee comes a-calling, and I don't know what they did to somebody to they somewhere along the line peed in somebody's Wheaties at the league office. Hey, Watson, they're on the road for 34 days before they come back home. They go 5 full weeks without playing a home game in this league. 5 full weeks.
I don't. That's
that
not
makes
right.
No,
that's
and
just
check
flat
this out.
Not right.
And check this out. They played Georgia during that time span. They played Georgia and Jacksonville, and they get a rest. Then they go to Kentucky, which I'm not laughing at that. They haven't played well at Kentucky in recent years under multiple coaches, which you were talking about. How these programs all dip, and Florida's in a little bit of a valley. Maybe they come out of it this year. And then, so they've got 2 road games at Kentucky and at Ole Miss. I can promise you this. That Ole Miss bunch is going to fight Florida tooth and nail. Those will be 2 physical football games with what Lane does in the transfer portal. And then they come back home and play the Vols 34 days later, Watson. That just isn't right, man.
No, Oklahoma and Florida, to me, the last 2 years have been hit right between the eyes with schedule. And coaching football, and I can talk as a coach, and I played college football too, but coaching football, it's how good are you and how good is who you're playing. That's it. That's it, 100%.
Pretty simple.
And you do that every week. You do that every week. Am I better than this team? Am I 2 touchdowns better than this team? Football is the one sport that usually, doesn't always because there's upsets still, but usually if you're better, you win. If you're better, and I mean 14 points better or something, if you're better, you win. In basketball, that's not always the case. In baseball, it's sure not the case. It's who's pitching that day or whatever. It's how hot you're shooting the ball in basketball. But in football, if you're physically better, you just don't lose that game very often. And so their schedule's brutal. I don't think there's anybody in the country that could have a great record going through either one of Florida or Oklahoma's schedule.
You know what's funny? It's kind of like that deal, like people say, well, Nick Saban's this, and all the Bammers, they worship him. Nick Saban knew one thing. I better get some ball players. If I want to keep stacking championships, because every minute that guy was the coach there, he was recruiting. Every single minute, like Sean was saying. And they were stacking player on top of player, on top of player.
Nick, that's what he does. But he was also smart enough, just like Coach Bryant. It's amazing, the top football school in the country. Coach Bryant got to a point where he said, we can't do it the way we're doing it. We got to change. So he goes and puts the wishbone in.
That's right.
Behind everybody's back. Nobody knows it. And he goes to Southern Cal, who had beat him the year before, unmercifully, and beats them. And they had no clue he was running it. And then he goes on this run of national championships. Nick Saban knew after he played Clemson, I cannot win trying to beat everybody on defense. I cannot do it. I can't win a national championship. And he changed. And he brought Lane Kiffin in. And then from there, Sarkisian and whoever it's been. And it brought him championships. So it's not just talent with Nick Saban now. He was smart enough to understand.
That's a good point.
Understand, and he was a defensive guy. He didn't know offense. He was a defensive guy, and I promise you it killed him to have to give Lane that much authority and let him go. It probably killed him because he wants to be in charge in every way. And he was. I'm not saying that. But to give that much reins to Lane Kiffin, but it won him a national championship. Until he retired, they ended up being stronger on offense than they were defense, Tony. So I just think the really good ones, they always say, well, anybody could coach at Alabama. There's some coaches that went through there that got them in trouble and didn't win. You still got to be a good football coach to coach at those schools.
My main man, Watson Brown, it's always a pleasure. You're incredible. Now, it's pretty warm outside, but you don't like to moan about it. Are you going to get out and play some golf today? That's what I want to know.
I played yesterday, so I got some yard work to do today, but I will be outside, Tony. I'm not going to ever fuss about the heat, buddy.
No,
because I fuss all winter about the cold.
And you know what's funny about the heat as it goes along is I've kind of gotten acclimated, and it actually feels, you can almost feel a little tinge. It's right around the corner in that nighttime air right now. You know, I maybe I'm trying to wish it so.
No,
I agree with you. It's right around the corner.
I'm handling it a lot better now than I did 3 or 4 weeks ago. I can tell you that. Because I've been out in it a lot more.
You're my main man. I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. And Simpson's Meats, we got another one on the way to you, brother.
Oh,
what's the first thing you're going to do?
We always say, Tony, I know you got to go. You get what you pay for. Well, this is one time you flat get what you pay for. It's that good.
Watson Love. Thank you, brother.
See?
Thank you. The great Watson Brown, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. Remember, premium meat shipped anywhere in our world. SimpsonsMeats.com, and you can go by and check out their store off Level Road. Whether it's steaks, burgers, sausages, roast chicken, they've got you covered. Sean Sinclair is with me. Cinco, I don't know. Am I talking myself into this? We're gonna discuss this on the other side. Tennessee's schedule is so generous that even Syracuse sucks, and we'll get into that. Even Syracuse kind of blows, but nothing this year looks like it's going to suck like that UCLA bunch. And that's another thing. Watson said at some point we have to let the Nico thing go. Do we? That's another topic I want to throw around next hour. Our schedule is even like the signature non-league game kind of sucks, and people are telling me that the game in the Dome is not selling like they thought it was going to. But I guess why would it? Those Syracuse people aren't going to come to that. And if you think about it, the year Tennessee played NC State, that's a pretty easy drive for those people to get over there. Some of the other games they've had in there, they've had North Carolina playing in there. I mean, that would make sense. That Syracuse bunch, man, are you going to make the trip? And like these guys said, this is no longer a program thing. Because they had a pretty nice year last year. You know, remember that flash win they had with Miami at the end of the year? This is no longer that, though. This is, I mean, dare I say, well, their win, we'll talk about it as we continue. On the other side, and then the Nico thing. I wrestle with whether or not to hate watch Nico and hate watch him every step of the way. We'll get into that as we continue with more. It's 865-200-5402. It's hour 2 on the radio after this.
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM.
Translator W259AB.
Powell, Knoxville.
Hey, Tony B listeners, I'm Billy from Grade A Grounds, a UT grad bringing Knoxville a better way to raise money. We roast premium coffee fully branded for your team or cause. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% to local needs. Let's win on and off the field. Visit gradeagrounds.com to start your winning fundraiser today.
Living Vol fan, we're on the countdown to kickoff, and that means you need to make sure you are game ready. Head to Alumni Hall to get this season's Tennessee sideline apparel. Nike, Columbia, Peter Millar, and more. Shop top brands for the entire family. Hats, Yeti, tailgating gear, and so much more. If it's for the Tennessee fan, Alumni Hall has it. Spend $150 and get $10 in Hall cash rewards. Shop at alumnihall.com. Download their app or shop any of their locations in Knoxville, Murfreesboro, or the Tri-Cities. Alumni Hall, the ultimate shopping destination for Vol fans.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high-character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Attention Vol fans, are you tired of complicated, clunky fleet technology that makes your job harder? Say goodbye to frustration and hello to Connexial, your hometown partner in logistics. It's time to rev up your operations with next level fleet management from Connexial. Connexial is here to keep your business on track with technology that works as hard as you do. Our game-changing ELD gives you more than just hours of service. With AI-powered dash cameras and real-time asset tracking, you'll have eyes on the road, cargo, and your fleet from anywhere, anytime. And the best part, our friendly US-based customer support team is just one phone call away. No more long wait times or frustrating tech talk. Just real people with real solutions. With Connexial, you get a professional team you can trust and easy-to-use products that keep you on the road. What do you say, Tony?
I'm ready. Make the smart move and call Connexial today.
865-888-6920. Learn more at Connexial.com. That's Konexial.com. Drive life with Connexial and go Vols.
Basilio here, and my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
Yeehaw! Some people say betting online is still the wild, wild west. But with the VIP Play app, you're riding with the best. VIP Play app is hotter than a $2 pistol packed with flair. Live hosts and features finer than a frog hair. Send your old betting problems out of town with a slap. You'll be betting sharp as a tack on the VIP Play app.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Jeff Hall here. I'm a partner at Rather and Kittrell Capital Management. Life is full of transitions. Planning for retirement, managing investments, or navigating major life changes. Here at Rather and Kittrell, we're here to guide you through every step. Visit rkcapital.com or call 865-218-8400 to start your journey toward financial clarity today. Rather and Kittrell is a registered investment advisor.
My friends at VIP Play just released every line for every Tennessee game this year. They've done it for the Vols, and Titans are the only sports book in the state of Tennessee that have done that. So head over to VIP Play and check out what they say about the Vols in the upcoming season, because it is, it's extremely interesting. It's extremely interesting. Cinco, what are we going to do about Nico right now? Are we letting it go? Are we going to hate watch him? How are we going to handle this whole Nico thing?
I think there will be a group that does all of that. I would equate it with Chase Burns. I not acutely, but I watched a little bit of what he was doing over there. I did with Matthew Dallas this past year. Mm-hmm. And, and then when Chase Burns was in the regionals and got beat by East Carolina, I think, but in that regional, ashamedly, I took a little joy in that he got roughed up in that last game. I think I think there will be some of that with Nico. I'm old enough to know better, but still stubborn enough that if he gets sacked or throws an interception or a pick six or whatever, I'll somewhere in the depths recesses of my mind, I'll go, well, there you go. Not proud of that, but I'm human. So I think a lot of that will be there. I agree with you. I with Deshaun Foster, with that relative lack of talent, with a new coordinator, I think he's got in the Big Ten, I think he's got an uphill battle on his hands. But yeah, you know what? We kind of got out of the morass that we had been in with his NIL deal.
Yep.
And we were able to stick our chests out a little bit. We were able to bring back a full, breath that, hey, don't forget us. We're Tennessee. We're still relevant. And, when he took his ball and went home, there's some scorn there. There's some hurt there. It's in a lot of ways, unlike other people, for whatever reason, it kind of felt like a breakup.
Well, and you know what's funny about this one, too? This one's going to be really interesting because, as Watson said, the Tennessee deal is interesting on a lot of fronts, because if Tennessee goes on and has a good season, then we can almost like look at Nico and go, okay, fine, whatever. Like last year, for instance, or 2 seasons ago now, I guess time flies. Chase Burns leaves and Tennessee goes on and wins a national championship. Hey, man, no harm, no foul. It's a lot easier to let go of that when you win a national championship. If this season begins and Tennessee's going to open as a couple score favorite against that Syracuse bunch, if this season occurs, Sean, and, I mean, let's face facts here, and things don't go our way, and this is what I'm asking the fans right. I'm going to ask a living fan right now. How are we going to handle it? Or are you going to be honest like I'm going to be honest? And I'd hate to see his father to have his cake and eat it too. Like, I got friends that think he's going to be a first-round draft pick. I don't think that. But that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their belief on that. I just don't think that's going to happen. But that's all right. And I don't know that he's going to stay healthy playing there either, because he's got a terrible offensive line around him. If they think this offensive line Tennessee had around them this year is bad, wait till they see his offensive line. And again, you're playing in a league where there are defensive linemen and there are linebackers that are going to be NFL football players that are playing in that league. He's going to see. It's not like he's playing in the Sun Belt, okay? So let's not pretend that. The Big Ten is the second best league in the country, and they've got some damn good defensive players in that league. So it's going to be interesting to see. Sean, if we struggle and if we have an issue at quarterback, and if this kid can't play and we have to play 2 or 3, God forbid, of those guys, Sean, the ire is really going to turn on Nico. The hate watching is really going to commence then. If we live happily ever after and can somehow string together a 9-3 season, which would be, I think, wonderful, maybe we let bygones be bygones. Sink. What do you think?
Yeah, I think. I mean, sure. I think the majority of that ire will be directed toward Josh Heupel, because if we take inventory, I'm not be a rain cloud over this thing, because there's been I've listened to you every day, and there's a lot of hopium going on around there, and I'm not here to put that out or drench that by any stretch. But if you take a look at it, this is an extremely favorable schedule. Extremely favorable. I'm not saying easy, but it's favorable relative to other SEC programs and what they're facing. No question about it. If we had Florida's schedule right now, we wouldn't be talking about 9-3 right now. We wouldn't. Let's get real, because we would look at the holes. But if you take a look at what's going on, this is year 5 of Josh Heupel, I believe, and you're going off 2 straight years of mediocre at best quarterback play in a very quarterback friendly offense. Now, whether that's because of Alex Golesh leaving, I don't know. But Joe Milton was here, several years, couple years before his last year. Nico got the red shirt or whatever and made his debut at the end of the freshman year. So he was here. This kid's coming in late. With all due respect, I get it. The kicky Joey football, I get all that stuff. He's been unremarkable in 4 years of college football. So how does that translate? We got to, as Florida said, I hate it. You said it. We don't fare well on the scoreboard at the end of the Alabama and Florida series when they're at their home stadiums. Mm-hmm. We just don't. Mm-hmm. And we're not bringing a juggernaut in there this year. Mm-hmm. So you got those. We've lost a lot of talent. Now, a lot of that didn't end up in the NFL. But we lost a lot of, I don't know about talent, we lost a lot of experience. Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys we are hoping either new to the roster or guys that are just the Shamu Marath, the William Satterwhites, the, on and on, Jordan Ross. Are these guys going to step up and fulfill their potential? Don't know. Could, but we don't know. And then also, you got to look at there's a pattern here of the Heupel stinker. Every year we think we're going to get over it, and every year we see it. So, how does that factor in? Because he does. He puts up a game once a year where you look out there and you're going, dude, did you guys even practice this week? And I can't explain that because I think he's a very talented head coach. But it's an extremely favorable schedule. So I'm what was it? 8.5 was the thing. If I were a betting person, I would go the under, just based on what I'd said there before. And if it went over, I'm as happy as can be.
Here's the interesting thing, and then we'll get Alan in here. What are we going to do about Nico? Because we really haven't discussed this. I think if we slide and it's a struggle, we're all going to be watching their games, rooting hard against that kid. I'm going to admit that. And I don't want to see his father win. I would hate at the end of this to see his father win. That would not be good. No offense to him. But we'll bring Alan in here. Before we do, though, win totals for ACC teams. Brian Hartman pointed out that if you look at the win totals for SEC teams, the bottom 5 teams are on Tennessee's schedule. Bottom 5. If you want to group Oklahoma in with the bottom 4. That's pretty hard to do that. And then, when you look at a bad league like the ACC, and by the way, Fran Brown was a nice hire at Syracuse, and he's probably going to have more better seasons than not. But this year, they had to settle for the Angeli guy who lost a job as a veteran quarterback at Notre Dame. So the Angeli guy has had to, he's a refugee. He's a refugee at Syracuse. Their win total this year in that league, he gonna go to the league. In that league, their win total is 5.5. Jackie Butler. 5.5 in that league? Cinco, that must mean how about this? Our quarterback just came in off the street. Because I heard it on the street. I heard you might have found somebody. And we're a 2-touchdown favorite against them, Cinco. And I was thinking, God, I asked Phil Steele yesterday, is there any chance? He goes, no, Tony. Syracuse does not have a chance. I said, why? He said, well, they lost their best running back. They lost their 2 best wide receivers. They lost their quarterback that could really play. They lost their offensive line. They lost some defensive players. He said they're not going to be very good. I went, oh.
It sounds like us.
Well, we play in the SEC, though. Let's get Alan in here.
That's right.
Alan's up next with us. And like Watson said, even in a down year at Tennessee, you're only going to be an underdog in like 3 games if you stop and think about it, 3 or 4 games. That's unless you bottom the thing out like we did 10 years ago, that's pretty accurate. If you stop and think about that. But let's get Alan in here, who's up next with us. I want to talk about this Nico thing. What are we going to do? We going to hate watch a guy? We going to let him go? What are you doing with Nico in your mind? And then what to make of this schedule? And do you plan on going to the Syracuse game down there in Atlanta, which should be played in Knoxville, by the way, but in the modern era, we have our cake and we eat it too. In other words, they charge the fans out the wazoo. Hey, the young guy just got a job at Georgia Tech as Danny White's second in command, just got the job at Georgia Tech. He ain't going to be able to extort people the way you're able to extort people here. He ain't going to talk so loud and seem so proud when he gets that job. He's getting a hard job. Al, welcome in. You're on the air. Hey, Alan, good to talk to you.
Yes, sir. I was calling from sunny Philadelphia up here.
Uh-oh. Philadelphia,
yeah,
Pennsylvania? Philadelphia or the one near Cleveland?
No, the one up in Pennsylvania. The city of brotherly love.
Oh my gosh! Now, hopefully, you're not near the town because they have a trash strike, and I can't imagine how bad that place smells with the garbage strike going on.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm just passing through. I'm on my way.
Nice.
Yeah, on my way back.
Good for you.
Yeah. I've got a comment on Nico.
All right.
I know a guy that's a basketball booster. He's a pretty big time booster for basketball, and he's in with the Spire guys.
Yep.
And we were talking about it not too long ago, and he said that when they were shopping Nico around in December, that it got back to the Tennessee people, the Spire people, and everybody what he was being offered, and they knew that his best offer was $1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
And when they tried to hold out, that it got back to Nico's family that Tennessee knew what his best offer was. So they got into a standoff.
And it was from Miami. Yeah, so what's interesting is because Team Nico's family spun, because we were in the middle of reporting that whole weekend. I mean, I spent so much time on the phone that weekend with different people that are on the Tennessee beat. We were all trading notes. What have you heard, blah, 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 and you just keep digging. Team Nico spun that they were being offered $3 million. Tennessee said to them, that's funny. Since your offer, the highest offer you have on the table is 1.5. And Sean's got a good point. If it doesn't work out here, are we going to blame Nico, Al, or are we going to blame Heupel? Who's going to get the blame if this season goes south on us here? Who's going to get the blame?
I got a feeling it's going to be Nico's camp, his family. I don't think that we're going to hold it against Nico himself. I think it's going to be a situation where we hold it against his dad, whoever else was representing him, and give him advice. From my standpoint.
And if what you're saying is true, they knew he was being shopped around. Do they then turn around, which I believe, by the way, do we then turn around and turn our ire toward Heupel, who had a chance in the winter to say to him goodbye, which I hope would be the way this is handled in the future by any head coach. If I find out that you're being shopped around, Phil Steele yesterday joined us and said that a head coach told him, hey, Phil, this year, our quarterback during the off week went and visited a campus. Hey, Sean Sinclair, you're a head coach of a football team and you find out that your starting quarterback went and visited a campus, went on basically a recruiting visit during the football season. How are you handling that, Sean, as a head football coach?
Not well.
I'm not taking that. I'm sorry. I'm not taking that. I am not taking. Al, are you taking that? You're a head football coach?
No. There's an old saying. I think it comes from the political era. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the stance I would take. We don't negotiate with terrorists. You want to sit down and we can talk it over and negotiate. But if you go behind my back to try to work out a better deal at the expense of the program, then we need to cut ties and move on.
That's really not a bad way of putting it, because really that's a hostile action. If you're my starting quarterback and we're in a Power 4 league, what in the hell are you doing? Because you're making good money at this level. What in the world are you doing negotiating with another Power 4 team? What, at that point, because really, if you stop and think about it, Brian, Sean, and Al, you guys tell me, how many Power 4 teams are there? 60 teams, maybe? Is that what we're talking about? You got one of the best 60 jobs in college football at that point. Cinco, they should have run him. You think if it happens all over again, Heupel would have run him, Sean?
I think so, because, the fact of the matter is that you're always going to weigh that against his potential talent and what he can do for you.
Yes.
I think the big mistake they made was I think they got caught in a trap between what they had invested in him, what he meant to the public persona of the program, And the other side of that was what they really knew they had as a football player, which I still, if Nico's the quarterback, I'm still taking the under at 8.5 this year.
How about those apples? Yeah. Al, do you agree with that?
I do. Before I go, I've got an update on the Redneck Brawl. You know, I live up in Johnson City.
Yeah, lay it on me here. What's the latest on Andy and the Redneck Brawl? Yep.
Yeah, I did some digging and some research, talked to some people I knew, and Andy did sign up for the Redneck Brawl, but unfortunately, a few years ago, he had to register his hands as lethal weapons in the Tri-Cities area, so they just couldn't take a chance that somebody would get, you know, seriously injured if they let him compete. Just to show you, you know, how bad of a man he is. Back in the 80s, they filmed a movie up here with Chuck Norris, Delta Force 2, and Chuck Norris loved the area up here. He actually comes back and vacations every now and then. He'll come up in the mountains and get a cabin. Starting a few years ago, he actually calls Andy and makes sure it's okay for him to come back in the area.
Wow.
Before he shows up. So
that's
the yeah.
Andy's a renaissance man, and I appreciate the insight, because here's the thing we know about Andy. He's under the tutelage of a cut creator in his hip-hop idiom that he's in. He has been under the tutelage of a rap coach. He's currently involved in combat sports. He puts his videos online. And when he spins round and round, see, they're missing a real opportunity, because we were going to get behind this thing full-throatedly. They were going to get some great pay-per-view buys out of it, because people all over the country that listen to the show would have bought this thing. I guarantee you they would have gotten a couple thousand pay-per-view buys out of it to watch rapper Andy get in the ring. And shame on the Redneck Brawl for not letting rapper Andy get in there. Not only should they have let him get in there, but they ought to give him, they really ought to give him the stick and let him rock the mic on the way to the ring. Just let him do the tornado. Let him do the Tennessee tornado. But at any rate, can't figure out what we're going to do with Bino on the scoreboard tonight. If you want to add to that as well, Bino's gone to see the Smokies tonight, and we're wanting to put a little sneak attack on him. If you have a thought on what we can do with Bino tonight up on the scoreboard, we'll do that as well. 865-200-5402 is the number. If you want to get in with us on this Wednesday, he's SEAN Sinclair DDS in beautiful Maryville. Again, he's SEAN Sinclair DDS in beautiful Maryville. And we continue with more on the other side after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Your Smokies are back home this week, and so many great promotions every single night, like all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Thirsty Thursday with half-off draft beers. But this Thursday, we also have dueling pianos. Friday, we're celebrating Shark Week style.
Captain America.
Saturday, Captain America, the Hulk, you name it. It's Marvel Superhero Night with a free comic book giveaway. And we close the week on Sunday with Pete the Cat.
Here comes Pete.
Grab your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Since 2001, Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has been the trusted and preferred name for over 70,000 Knoxville locals. Looking for expert plumbing services and HVAC services, including repairs, replacements, or maintenance. Voted best plumber in Knoxville and one of Knoxville's best HVAC companies 7 years in a row. Pipe Wrench is a fully licensed mechanical contractor and committed to excellence and craftsmanship, so you can trust our certified experts to go above and beyond to meet your plumbing and HVAC needs, no matter what problem horizons. We also make it easy with transparent pricing, free on-site estimates for replacements, and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing when credit approved. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call PipeWrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at PipeWrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire. Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Tony B here with the great Zakai Ziegler for
Hey,
Advent.
whoa. Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's Easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you. My name's Pachilio. I was telling you that my friends at VIP Play have released odds on every Tennessee game. Let me get to that. I'm going to share this with Sean and see how much of this is of interest, because it is interesting to look at this. Vegas thinks a lot of Tennessee. And my friends at VIP Play, when you're ready to place a bet, a great place to play. Everybody gets treated like a VIP at VIP Play. The VIP Play welcome bonus will be yours. Bet $5 or more, $100 in bonus bets instantly appear in your account. The promo code you want to use is TNTony when you sign up. Again, the promo code is TNTony. Remember, they have just released for the Vols and the Titans. They're the only sports book in the state of Tennessee that can say this. You got lines on every game now. If you want to tickle your fancy, you go over to the specials tab, and that's where you'll see lines on every Tennessee Vol and every Tennessee Titan game. Remember, they also have a sweepstakes going on this month as well. The more you bet, the more you earn, the more opportunity you have of winning the sweepstakes. When it comes to Major League Baseball, 25% Major League Baseball parlay profit boost on 3 picks or more. Shout out to my Sillies last night. You know, it's one thing to blow a 2-run lead late. It's another thing to do it with 2 stiffs on the mound. It's another thing to do it with one of the stiffs giving up an inside the park home run to lose a game. But if you want to go and bet against my Phillies today, I would encourage you to do that, as they're going to get swept today out in San Francisco. VIP play, live always, 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, options. They've got you covered. VIP play, where everyone gets treated like a VIP. 800-889-9789 if you have a gambling problem. 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. And here's the deal. So the line's just released over at VIP play. Hey, Brian Hartman, what do you think if you wanted to take Syracuse on the money line in the Tennessee game? What do you think that number looks like, Bri? Because I'm going to tell you, it's minus 560, Bri. The Vols are a 13.5-point favorite, according to our friends at VIP Play. And minus 560, Bri. Does that surprise you?
That seems like a lot.
A lot.
I'm not familiar with how money lines work, but that seems like a high number for that.
5-1. 5-1 plus. All right, so Tennessee against East Tennessee State, minus 48.5. Tennessee's money line is plus 225 for the Georgia game. And yesterday, Phil Steele had the Vols as what, Bri? 6 points? At VIP play, they're catching 7.5.
6 points. Yeah.
7.5 at VIP play. 7.5.
And he said 7.5 somewhere, so
there you go.
That was close.
Tennessee versus UAB, 31.5 is the line. 31.5. With Mississippi State, another 560 money line. Tennessee 13.5 with Mississippi State on the 27th of September, a day you'll always remember. With Arkansas, the Vols a 10.5-point favorite. The money line is Vols minus 455. At Alabama on the 18th of October, the Vols are a 11.5-point favorite, plus 315 on the money line.
So a dog, not a favorite against Bama, right?
I'm sorry, a dog, yeah. Plus 11.5. They're a dog, yeah. My bad. With Kentucky, Phil Steele had that what, Bri? 7?
Yeah, 7.
VIP play has the Vols minus 9.5, which I think is more like it.
Yeah.
Minus 9.5. And then on the money line, minus 375. With Oklahoma, Phil Steele had that one as a pick'em. VIP play has Tennessee minus 3.5, minus 177 on the money line. Our Keith Hatfield Memorial tailgate for the kids. Tennessee, and that's for our Machi Knoxville game on the 15th of November. Tennessee a 36.5-point favorite in that one. And Cinco, what do you think of the alt uniform we're going with for that game? Are you a fan?
You know, I don't get bothered by uniforms. It's okay. It's fine. If the kids love it, I love it. I've always thought those things are just a way for schools and retailers to try to make more money. But what was interesting to me in looking at it is with all this swirling talk that we're going to jump to Adidas, that uniform proudly had the Nike swoosh on it.
As all uniforms will have this year on UT's campus. Moving along. Tennessee and Florida, the Vols are a plus 2.5. What did Phil Steele have, Brian, next to that one?
I thought he had 6.
So this is 2.5.
That's a pick 'em close to it. That's
yes.
toss up because 3 points is home field advantage.
That's correct. So I'll be doing a video next week with Killer Kowalski on these and the reasons why. But the Vols are plus 120 as a moderate underdog with the Florida Gators at Florida on the 22nd. And finally, closing out the year, Tennessee with Vanderbilt minus 560 and the Vols at VIP play minus 13.5 versus Vanderbilt. So some interesting stuff there as we get ready to go back to our phones on a day where we are breaking it down scientifically with you. And let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome in to let's see here. Brian's up next. Brian, welcome in.
Well, howdy, fellers.
Hey, Brian, welcome in.
Let me say one thing. You know, if I have a business and I hear a man's going around trying to get, more money, but I hear he's going to get 25% less, I don't even mention it because if he takes it, I don't want him working for me anyway.
Oh, so you're talking about the Nico deal.
Yep. If he's going to take 25% less to go somewhere that's less of a place anyhow, let him go. Why would I want to keep him?
Well, the crazy thing about it is, at the end of the day, with the onerous nature of the taxes in the state of California, he's going to make about 60 to 70% less money at the end of the day that he'll put in his pocket. You talk about a short-term loss, and I hope for his sake the kid plays NFL football because that's money the family could have or he could have used down the line. $1 million is nothing to sneeze at in this world, and he's surrendered at least $1 million in that move. At least $1 million.
Well, even when they was here, like you said, you heard that he was, offered 1.5. That's still less than over $500,000 a year what he was making here. So that's idiotic to even think about it.
It's not only that though, but there's no state income tax here, and there he's going to give 50% of that or 48% of that away in taxes. I mean, he's easily going to be at $1 million in that thing, right? Or close to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the genius I want starting for me,
Well, that's a good point, man. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Anything else for us? That's a great call by you.
No, that's it. I just wanted to laugh about that moron, how people are sad that moron's gone, and I'm glad he's gone. Guy couldn't hit a wide open receiver if he wanted to.
He was kind of a flatliner. That's what Sean called him last year. He was not one of those guys. I was talking to Kelly Holcomb about this yesterday. He just did not have the quarterback vibe, if you will, that guy that just made the guys around him better. Just did
made you
not
miss
have
Joe
that
Milton.
vibe.
I ought to tell you something.
He what?
He made you miss Joe Milton. That should tell you something.
That's a good point because at times Joe Milton didn't look in control.
Yeah.
But he never looked out of control. There were some things that you just shake your head with Joe Milton. You're like, what are you doing? Or where are you throwing that man or something like that? But when you saw him behind center, when you saw him going around, it didn't look like he was panicked. And come on, he had an experienced offensive line. He had experienced running backs and wide receivers and tight ends, frankly. And for most of the year, it looked to me like Nico was in a panic attack, and I'm serious about that. The eyes wide open, and especially, and I don't fault him for the Ohio State game. I mean, that's just we had no bit. They played a different brand of football than we did. Let's get honest. We had no business being on that field with them that day. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, everyone was talking about how he was brave and running around. He was running around because he had no idea what he was doing. He had no clue once the ball got snapped to him, the only thing he was doing was running around in some kind of survival mode, and it wasn't because the offensive line was that bad.
It was fight or flight, and for him it was a combination of two in that playoff game, Cinco. That's right. Fight or flight, and he fought, but he also flew. So.
Well, another thing was, we talked about, the next street should be called Joe Milton Overpass. Nico threw balls way worse over and wide open guys that Joe Milton ever thought of doing last year. That's what everyone there's a phenomenon when a kid is a 5-star, we always in fans believe that's the player we're watching, and he wasn't, and that's why. I don't wish him ill because I don't even think he really wanted to come here. I think he was a pawn in his dad's scheme.
That's a shame
to get $2 million out of high school. I bet the kid probably wanted to go to USC, be a Trojan or somewhere else like that. I truly believe that.
If it goes south on him
for no reason except for money, so I don't blame him at all. But he is a 7-on-7 flag football quarterback. That's what I saw.
If it goes bad for us here, man, we are going to be all over that guy this year, and probably all over Heupel, like Sean said. But thank you, Brian. Funny hearing from you. Funny call. Let's get Nathan in here. Good. Yeah, go ahead. You were going to add. I'm sorry. Nathan, hello. Welcome in. Hey, Nathan. Good to talk to you.
Hey, Tony. Hey, everybody.
Hey, welcome in, buddy.
Hey, I ain't really got anything sports related, but talking about the Beano thing.
Yeah, what are we going to do with Beano?
Baseball game tonight?
Yep.
The Boston Red Sox is a pretty good idea, but my first thought was need to say that Pope Leo's in attendance.
Come on, man.
So Beano looks so much like that new Pope.
Come on, man.
Billy Derrick, when he was with us down there at Calhoun's on the River, I said, Billy, because Billy's Catholic as they come. I said, Billy, Beano, Pope Leo. He goes, oh, my gosh. Oh. He goes, it almost makes me kind of nervous thinking about it, how much he looks like him. It's such a great bit by you. We could put Beano, we could say, how are we going to do that? I don't want to get anybody in trouble on the video board. It'd be kind of cool to superimpose Beano in a Pope Leo deal, but then you would get people in trouble. I don't want to do that, but how could we do that? How could we welcome Beano? Let me think about that. That's very good. Thank you, Nathan.
No problem. Hey, Tony, and on the way out, thanks for my my copper card you sent me in the mail.
Oh, hey, man, great to talk to you. And who knew that we've been getting your name wrong all these years? My Laura said, he's just sticking with that name since you don't understand this. You didn't understand when he said his real name to you, which
well, hey,
she enjoyed talking.
I plan on using it when y'all do your show at Calhoun's during the football season. I'll introduce myself.
Thank you, brother. Please do.
Who knew that copper cards actually make it to the mail?
Yeah, how about that, Cinco? What a concept.
That's amazing. Well done, Mrs. B, yep. I'm sure.
Yep, and William actually got his this week, the caller William, who has been a real pace setter for us.
That's fantastic. You wouldn't have got that at the old ESPN affiliate we were at.
Let's get W. Lynn in here, who's up next with us. W. Lynn, welcome in on a day where Syracuse's win total is 5.5, joining the fact that Tennessee's schedule in 2025 literally is the dregs of society outside a couple of halves. W. Lynn, how we doing?
How my friends and compatriots are doing today? Doing great, thanks.
What's up, brother?
Tony, I was just proud that, kind of my hope was go 4-1, have an open date, go 3-1, be 7-1 for the second open date. Phil Steele basically had a 6-2-1 on that deal. So that's what all we can hope for this year. Really, is to be 7-2 after 9 games. I think. and be happy. And then we'll control our own destiny, because not only do we have an open date after Oklahoma, but we play New Mexico State. So anybody that's banged up or has a minor injury, that gives us 3 weeks to get ready for Florida. So that's got to be a plus.
Would you take it, Cinco? Would you take that right now? What W. Lynn's talking about?
I'm looking at the schedule right now, and he's exactly right. I mean, and the thing is that you got in my opinion, a neutered Kentucky team, or Spade, I guess, is their Cats. A Spade Kentucky team the week before that.
W. Lynn, what you pointed out about
you
the way
control
this
your own destiny for the last 2 games.
And I gave you a shout out in the blog today, because what you pointed out around those 2 swing games there in November, those 2 teams are being fed to the wolves, man. I mean, not only do you get a Syracuse team that's got a 4.5, you start the year with them, but it's like the schedule maker said to Tennessee, okay, before you play just about every team, they're going to face somebody of consequence. If this kid can play at all, we have a real opportunity to be a surprise team this year in college football. It will be a lot of fun. I'll be fair to this kid. If this kid can have a solid season, I'll rephrase that. Speaking of Joey Football, who I believe in, by the way, I believe in Joey Football. What choice do I have?
Yeah, we got to go with what we got. And as far as the anti-Nico question, my orange blood, and I'm with Sean, my human nature, kind of wants me to do him to do bad. And number 2, I do kind of want to prove his dad wrong. And 3, I want it to be a lesson to players that this isn't the way to do things, and it's a lesson to the powers to be that we got to have collective bargaining and contracts, at least a 2-year contract or something. But, that's me looking at it. That's my anti-Nico take. All those reasons.
Well, and W. Lynn, if we get in that season and it spins on us, people are going to try to assess blame. A couple callers told me, hey, you're wanting to give Heupel a pass. We get in that season, if this thing goes awry on him, he's making $10 million a year, the fans are not going to give him a pass. I said that I would be inclined to give him a pass. When I heard Sean say what he said today, because I was thinking we were all going to be blaming Nico, Sean's probably right. People are going to say, hey, now that the reporting is going to be out there and it's getting known in our community that this guy was negotiating in December in terms of flirting around with other teams. The lesson there, W. Lynn, is you got to cut your quarterback loose if you catch him doing that. I don't care if you have damn Patrick Mahomes. You got to cut him loose, man. You can't have that.
And we got to that proves we have got to get to contracts and collective bargaining.
No doubt.
Or you'll have
I've got a remedy for this a little bit.
Thank
here,
you, W. Lynn. You're my man. Go ahead. You got a minute and a half. Hit it.
Little remedy for if I were advising Josh Heupel right now, because he's an affable guy. Yep. Everyone seems to like him. I like him. I don't know him, but I like him. He seems to have a culture over there, et cetera. But my advice to him coming into this season would be, I would be a little more open. You don't have to throw caution to the wind or anything like that, but limit the amount of coach nonsense, because he's famous for saying a lot of things and not saying anything. I think the fans would be a lot more sympathetic on his side, etc., if he would drop that whole trying to keep everything away from the public.
I agree. I could not agree with that anymore. He is the ultimate example of a guy when he speaks whose caption bubble should say words, 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 words. Because that's all he's doing. And it is really an insult to your intelligence, and I'm rooting for the guy. But it is brutal listening to him because he will not answer a question. He's kind of thin-skinned, which is sort of funny. And that's a bad combination. A guy that's kind of thin-skinned that won't answer a question, versus like a Barnes who just kind of says this is what's going on. But Barnes has sort of earned that, and then a Tony Vitello who is too open. Tony comes on the show and he's too open. But Cinco, thanks, man. He's Sean Sinclair, DDS, beautiful Maryville. My name's Tony Basilio. Thank you to Brian Hartman for allowing me to do what I'm doing here. He's been pushing the buttons today. And we love you. We appreciate you. Hope you have a great day. No TLD Logistics Overdrive overtime. But shout out to my trucker. Shout out to TLD Logistics. Keep America moving. Peace.
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Schedule.
My gosh.
One of the more favorable schedules. So,
don't let Bino see this. Don't let Bino see this. Don't let Bino hear this. Bino, turn it off. Turn your device off, Bino. Here's the deal. NC State